Hello everybody and thank you for checking in. It is time for Dreamscape number 8 of Human Fall Flat. It's called the Power Plant. This is a voiceover after the fact. This level actually took me about 4 hours to do. So a lot of this footage is actually going to be sped up, which then messes with any in-game commentary I would have done anyway, and I knew it was going to take a long time, so I just went ahead and played it. If you've been following along with this series, then you know a couple of levels back, I realized it was getting really difficult, and from that point, I really haven't been recording much in-game commentary. I've just been doing what I can do to get through. So here I start, doing my initial look around of landing in the Power Plant Dreamscape. And I noticed that it appeared I had to get on the other side of this big wall. Essentially. And there's of course a lot of rooms off to the right with different puzzles for each of them. But because I know that whatever's on the other side of this wall was probably going to take a long time too, I used my wall scaling trick, which I'm super speeding up. It actually took me a good 40 minutes just to climb this wall. So if we're at like a minute and 40 seconds or so, and I'm at the top of this wall, yeah, that's quite a speed cut. Get up here and I'll show you a glimpse at all the rooms I bypassed by doing this. So, all those rooms probably would have taken me at least 2 hours. At least. I'd say at least 2.5. So 40 minutes to scale that wall, definitely worth it. Let's check out what these big drums are all about. So the first one's lit. Second one isn't. My first thought is, oh, maybe it doesn't have enough coal in it, so I put some coal in it. Open the third one, that's not lit either. Let's put some coal in that one, if I can pick it up. So this power plant level is the final Dreamscape at the moment. They could add more at a later point, and I will definitely play them when they add them, if they add them, because it's a very interesting game. I love that there's more than one way to do like everything. So the truck, I looked forward to this since the moment that I knew it was going to be a thing on this level. I knew that driving this was going to be real interesting. This lever is so ridiculous to control. You have one speed for going backwards, which is like really fast, and then you have neutral, and then you have first speed forward, which is really slow, but then if you hit it all the way forward, it goes really fast. Here I'm showing that it shows you that the exit has to do with these 3 towers. 3, whatever you want to call them. This is sped up by about 24, like 24x. It took me forever to steer this thing. I put it in that low forward speed. Instead of cutting a lot of things out, I just like to show those speed cuts, because you don't miss as much that way. And here's where I completely messed up and lost my first truck. Because I got scared that I wouldn't be able to pull the lever back in time, so I just jumped out. And if you look real careful, because that was in forward motion, it actually goes to its spawn point and keeps falling off the edge because it's in forward gear. And you'll see that more in a little bit. So now, thankfully, there's a second truck up there. And my goal is to line this truck up underneath this thing. I don't know what you call it. It's like a dispensary, where you can put coal inside the cave there, up on this escalator thing, and it falls down through the funnel and into the truck, as long as you can get the truck lined up. And that took me probably about another 40 minutes, maybe a half hour. I cut quite a bit of that and sped up the rest. So I kept getting my tires stuck on the side there. I was too close to the side. And it's one of these things where it seems like, okay, we'll just, you know, back up out of it and pull it over to the other side and line it up right. Yeah, it's not easy though. It's not easy at all. But I finally get it under there. Super excited about it. I was like, yay, I didn't think I was ever gonna get it. Then I'm like, okay, now I just need to start loading up coal. Of course, I have no idea how much coal I'm going to need. So I go with the strategy of just pile as much in there as I can until I'm just so sick of piling it in I can't go any further. So I load up quite a lot. And it was kind of fun, honestly, like playing around on this escalator kind of thing. I went down it to go in and kind of straighten out the coal so that it would fall in a little more evenly. So I'm not sure. This is a very physics-based game, which if you've watched any of this, you know. So I wasn't sure if uneven weight distribution would affect it once I have to drive the truck back down to those drums. So I tried to actually smooth it out a bit. Again, this is sped up like crazy. Then I do my big jump, take a little look. It looks good. Let's get out of here. Now if you look off in the distance there, you'll see the other truck keeps respawning and it's driving off the road down there. This becomes quite a problem once I get this truck down there, which is pretty interesting. So for a lot of this, I actually kept this in neutral at this point. So this is like extremely sped up, like by 48 times. Because it was in neutral and I was just kind of using the physics of my body movement, of Bob's body movement I should say, to push it forward because it was on that decline there. And then at this point I'm gonna have to put it in like first gear, you could say, and then stop, turn the wheel, go some more. Yeah. Took a long time. Yeah, that truck's just respawning because it was in forward gear and I just jumped out of it. And just like when Bob falls and respawns, apparently these trucks do the same thing. So I wasn't going to be able to actually get this truck up where I wanted it because this other truck is doing this. So interesting things ensue. But basically the point of this level is for each of those drums, it powers these fans inside those big towers. You need enough coal in there to make it. There's like a little whistle thing that happens. Oh, see, I thought that I was gonna be able to get on here at this point, and then I got scared, and I was like, nope, nope, and then yeah, okay, it left. So good thinking. I should have actually tried to just jump in it and fall with it and see if I would respawn with it, but I didn't try that. I was too nervous to. But oh. Then of course the truck's in neutral, there was no brake. So, where it's on like an incline, decline, whatever you want to call it. Oh, getting run over. But yeah, so each of those drums, when filled up with enough coal and lit, the whistle blows. There's like a whistle that signifies that it's got enough in it. Should be hearing it soon. The coal is harder to put in there than you would imagine. And there's that whistle. I don't understand human fall flat logic 100%, but you don't have to. I thought it was kind of cool that you could actually go in those. So this is underneath those. You see the fans going. And the exit part was graded off. Because in the third one, you just jump down into it, and that's your exit. There was this little torch down there, so I used it to light these ones. You know, thankfully, you know, doesn't have to leave it in there. I could take it out, use the same one. And yeah, that third one still needed quite a bit of coal. So I continued with that. Achievement unlocked, delivery boy. Not sure what that achievement means. Not sure exactly. It might have something to do with the trucks. Like distance driven and for the trucks maybe? I don't know. If it was counting the respawning one, then yeah. So this other, if you notice the other gauge there, needed to be all the way up, and all three had to be all the way up for that to go all the way up. So I love how it looks like I'm just swinging this coal around for the fun of it. I wasn't. I was actually trying to put it in there. I was debating on cutting a lot of this out, but I find it humorous that I struggled so much. And another whistle. And that means it's time to... Whee! It's really cool. This is gonna look super slow motion, especially in comparison to all the speed cuts from the rest of the video. But basically you just blow right up to the top, and then I'm super trying to be super careful about not falling once I do get up there. And this air is pressing against you, so of course I fell the first try. It feels like it's kind of an unrealistic thing, obviously, but it feels realistic. And like you swear you can almost just feel that air pushing you. It really changes how everything feels. That's one of the things I just love about this game, like, so much. So there's this whole thing where when you pull yourself up on something, it makes a big difference. See, look at his legs going. You can just tell that air is really pushing. I decided I needed to spread my arms out, because you have to put Bob's legs between your arms and then let go of your, you know, with your arms. Because if it's any other way, then you end up kind of popping and jumping. So then you have to jump to the next one, which I will admit took me a couple tries, but this was the good try. 4 hours, there was a lot of stuff that had to get cut, but I left a lot of the important things in, obviously. I don't think you guys would want to watch like a 4-hour video. I don't think so. This jump was actually significantly easier, which you would think for it being the end that it wouldn't have been, but just kind of like with carefully going over and then jump for it, grab it, yay. I even waited for his legs to calm down so that I could stand properly. And then walking sideways on this was actually more difficult than I thought it would be. And then jump right in. Achievement unlocked, the end. See, that's what I mean. It might not actually be the last one that they put in. And these credits were really cool, so I actually left these in. I super sped up some of them. It should speed up a lot after a little bit here, but I'm leaving it in. It gives me a chance to kind of talk about the game in general, just in case I don't know how long it's going to be before they add any more levels, so we're going to consider this the finale of this series for now. I definitely had my ups and downs with this game. Love it though. Like, seriously love Human Fall Flat. I got so frustrated when it came to like the castle level and things got so difficult. But the beautiful thing is there's always another way. There's always some way. There's no reason to ever give up with this game. There's always a way. There's quick ways and slow ways, but there's always a way. And these credits were really cool. Like, you get to interact with all the names instead of just watching names go by, which I thought was neat. And then here's that image that we've seen from logging in, and that's it. And then I decided that Bob earned a face. So for completing the whole game as is, all 8 Dreamscapes so far, Bob wins a face. That's his prize. I don't know why I didn't give him a face the last time that I did his little like makeover. I just didn't. I just figured he kind of seemed meant to not have a face, and I didn't want to put like a bad one on him and then he looked horrible, then I would have had to like repaint the no face thing. But I guess I started off this series with customizing him and showing how you could paint on him, and I just kind of wanted to end off on that same type of note. And it's nice to see Bob smile at the end of all this. Beautiful smile, Bob. Good job, Bob. You didn't let me down in the end. Not gonna lie, kind of relieved that it's done at this point. But I did love this game so much, and I love doing this series for you guys. And I hope you liked it, and if you missed any of it, I will put a link to the full playlist in the description. I thank you so much for being here, so much for supporting me, and for those that encouraged me a lot to keep going with this no matter what I had to do. I completed this game. It feels really good. I'm really happy. Be sure to give it a big thumbs up if you liked it, and I will see you next time.